Tarous Boulba Extra Hoppy Ale.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one here today, special one from Brasserie de la Senne, which is based in Brussels, and this is their Tarous Boulba Extra Hoppy Ale. Now this is really interesting, this one, and this might take a while because I want to cover everything to do with this beer because it is a really interesting beer. Firstly, I'm going to go over the brewery. They're based in Brussels and they have been going since I think 2003, and it's quite funny because I was reading up the inspiration for this beer, which came from the owner of the brewery, and he got this inspiration from, would you believe, Harvey's Sussex Best Bitter. Now, I don't know about you, but coming from a country called Belgium, to have someone say that their beer is inspired by a British cask ale is quite flattering in my opinion, especially coming from Belgium. And he tried some of the Sussex Best Bitter after one of the Great British Beer Festivals. If you've never been there, sadly you couldn't go this year, but it is a great day out. Be prepared to get absolutely mullered and drink loads of fantastic beer, but they hold it in a place where it used to be held in a place called Earl's Court, and they hold it somewhere else now, and for the life of me I can't remember where, because every time I've been it's always been in Earl's Court. Now, whether you know or not, Earl's Court has gone, it's been pulled down. They're going to build flats there because London needs more flats apparently, but there you go. I see loads of good bands at Earl's Court as well. It was, as a venue it wasn't too bad for music, the sound wasn't that great, but for stuff like the Great British Beer Festival it was fantastic. But anyway, I'm digressing here. The owner of this brewery, he tried some of the Sussex Best Bitter from Harvey's in a pub in Parsons Green, which is just down the road. I think it's the next tube station down. You can walk there anyway. And that was his inspiration. And when he went back, he decided to brew some of this stuff. And originally, it was only sold locally, and it got so popular that it expanded. They started selling it all over Brussels, and then, yeah, the rest is history, as they say. But his actual quote, which I really like, he said, "There is no better beer in the world than an English cask ale." Now, I would agree with him on one level and probably disagree with him on another. If you get a good British cask ale or good English cask ale, it is absolutely sublime. I put it up against any style of beer in the world. But as for the best, well, you know, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's like anything. It's like music. You know, you can say this is the best. It's all personal taste. Anyway, Tarous Boulba. Who was Tarous Boulba? Well, that's quite an interesting story as well. And it leads nicely into the label. Have a look at the label, okay? So you've got a fellow with a red face, very angry by the looks of things. He's got a barrel of beer and he's throwing it onto another fella. Now, I don't want to go into this too much because it will take a long time, but I just want to get the main points across. Tarous Boulba was a novel that was written in the sort of, I think it was 1835, and it was based on a family of Cossacks who lived in the Ukraine, and they were at war with the Poles. Ukraine at the time was under the Polish Commonwealth, and they were at war basically. The Ukrainians, or these Cossacks, were allied with Russia, and they were at war with Poland, or the Polish Commonwealth. And the novel is about two sons who go away to fight the Poles, and one of them falls in love with a Polish girl, and obviously they're fighting the Polish Commonwealth, and all the complexities and the problems of that all get tied in together. In the end, he goes back to his father, and his father's not happy because he was having a relationship with a Polish girl, and he goes back to fight the Poles again, and eventually he gets captured and burned alive. Yeah, it's a beautiful story it is, but it's actually a nationalist romantic novel from the Ukraine, and that's where they've got the inspiration from here. And this is depicting the division in Belgium at the moment, where you have one half is the French-speaking part, the Walloon part of Belgium, and then you have the Flemish-speaking part, which is Flanders, that region there. And this is basically highlighting the stupidity of it. But I think what they're trying to do here, this is a father who's he's got a beer barrel, and he's supposedly throwing it at his son because his son has married. I think they're French or Walloon, and his son has met a Flemish girl, or vice versa. Not quite sure which, but that's the whole story behind it. But this part really annoys me, winds me up. Some fucking tulip has complained that this label is too violent, and the Portman Group, and it was someone over here in the UK, some fucking bell end, honestly, but the Portman Group got involved. Now, if you don't know who the Portman Group are, they are they're a lobby or a body that has been set up to regulate alcohol and stuff like that, and they upheld it, said yeah, it depicts violence, and it also suggests that beer can give you super strength, etc. And I just thought, what a fucking load of shit. I mean, do you really need somebody to tell you that don't be violent? If you see this on a label, their thinking is, oh, it's going to make you violent. Alcohol makes some people violent. Having it on a label is not going to trigger me into fucking throwing a barrel at someone. Honestly, this nanny state bullshit, it really fucking annoys me. But that was that was the complaint that was made, and rightly so. The owner said this is an absolute fucking joke. Probably wasn't the wisest thing to do. So that's still ongoing. That was, I think it was raised in February 2020. You may not see this label again because the fucking do-gooders don't like it. I've never heard so much fucking shit in all my life, and stay out of it. It's none of your fucking business. People who are buying that know not to throw barrels of beer at people, and alcohol will make people drunk. That is a fact. You don't need to research this. There is plenty of evidence to find that. And when people are drunk, they do stupid things. It doesn't have to be beer. It can be any type of alcohol. People will do stupid things, and they've been doing stupid things for centuries. So, all this crap about, it's going to turn, all of a sudden you're going to look at that and you're going to go mad. Fuck off. Fuck off. Anyway, calm down. Relax. You're having a beer. Let's investigate this beer. Right. Having got that out of the way. This is they're saying it's an extra hoppy ale. I've been reading up on it on their website. They say it's a lager. So what is it? Is it bottom fermented? Is it top fermented? They didn't really give much indication as to what that is. So I'm just going to take it for face value. There's no brew sheet. I can't tell you what hops are in here. Can't tell you what malt. But they do say that it is a noble hop session beer. Now, I've got builders coming tomorrow. I'm getting a studio built out in the back garden, and I've got a delivery of bricks and blocks coming to tomorrow. There's a studio being built out the back garden, so I've got to be up early. I was going to try the Saint-Furian Grand Cru, but then I looked at it and it was 9.5%, so I've decided to go for this anyway. This is called a Noble Hop Session Ale, and I'm assuming from that it's got one of the German noble hops in there, or the 3 German noble hops and the Sarts hops, one of them. It's quite bitter, and as I said before about the Harvey's bitter that was the inspiration for it, it's going to have quite a dry finish, and the Duranker bitter, I think it's the triple X or double X, can't remember, but it's in a similar sort of vein. Now, I found that very bitter. English bitter is nice, but it's balanced with sweet malt. With that, they really do make a big thing about throwing in a lot of hops and making it bitter. But this says it is dry hopped at some point, so it looks interesting. Oh, there you go. That's where it says Noble Hop Session Ale. Can you see that? Yeah. Let's get it home. Let's see what's going on. Brasserie de la Senne. Brasserie of the Seine, which I'm assuming means it is based on the River Seine. Or Seine. Is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm talking absolute bollocks. Come on, autofocus, you fucking tosspot. Yeah, there you go. Put that in there for the collection, yeah. Oh, you fucking tosser. And it's me guessing, didn't see it, and it's overflowing. Brilliant. I had the dog the other day, he knocked over a load of beer. There was a cable, I was on a Zoom call, and I don't know how it done, it got tangled up in his foot, and it all went over the desk. It was an absolute fucking disaster. Luckily, it was only one of them pound Martens from Lidl. Very nice beer, actually. They've gone now, but they do Ertinger, and I was drinking Ertinger last night. Not the greatest, but it was cheap, so that was the only reason I drank that. But there you go. God, I can smell the hops in this. There was like a floral aroma that's coming from this. It actually does smell like a lager. You do get like the malty aromas coming from it, but there is a bitterness to it. It's quite subtle, actually. I'm still trying to work out whether that's bottom fermented or top fermented. I think it's possibly top fermented, but it looks nice, I will say that. It looks really nice. Can you see that? Very nice and cloudy. Smells good. Let's get it down the hatch, see what's going on. Bottoms up. Not bad. Oh, nice. Nice hoppy finish on it. That's really strange because I'm sort of psyched up to, I don't know, it must be a subconscious thing. Looking at it and coming from a Belgian bottle, you see, I'm subconsciously expecting a blonde. So I'm expecting, big banana, clove, spices, etc. Not getting that at all. This is very clean drink. Well, I won't say clean drinking, but very, very sessionable, like a lager. Because effectively that's what it is, even though they called it an ale. There's very subtle spices on this as well. Like pepper. Black and white pepper. There is a very slight astringency to it, which I'm assuming is like an alpha acid bitterness that's coming from it. Fairly sweet malt that I'm getting on there, like a bready type malt, but not really a German style malt, if you know what I mean. It's very agreeable, I will say that. It goes down very nicely indeed, but it's got that subtle bitterness on the back, almost like a dry German Pilsner, but not quite, if you know what I mean. This is very full-bodied, and I'm assuming does it contain wheat? Ingredients, water. Oh, come on, water, malted barley, hops, sugar and yeast, fermentable sugar. Sorry. Ah, right, okay. No wheat. Unusual. Very full-bodied, I will say that. The sugar in it, yeah, you can get a little bit of it. Not a lot. This is more about the bitterness. Now, it's nothing like the Doranka bitter, but there is a subtle bitterness on the finish. How the Harvey's Best Bitter influenced this, I don't know. I can't really see the correlation between the two, but it's okay. I have to say that it is not bad. There's It's quite nice flavours to it. It's very agreeable. Lovely dry bitter finish on the end, which is coming from them noble hops. And all round, it's not bad. And when you go to Belgium, obviously you've got your lagers, your Jupilers, your Stellas, and your various other Belgian lagers and foreign lagers as well. If you want something that's just as sessionable, but with a little bit more body to it, then this might not be a bad option. Yeah, subtlety is the watchword with this. The flavours aren't big. It's more of a, like they say, a session beer. You do get a nice bitterness on the back end from them hops. Not too obtrusive. Very smooth. And yeah, no complaints whatsoever. That is just a good beer. So what's the verdict on Tarous Boulba? Yeah, it's not bad. I don't mind that. It's 4.5%. And the reason I'm drinking this and not the Saint-Ferignon is because I've got to get up early in the morning. So it's a good option if you don't want to get absolutely hammered. And it's got just enough flavour to make it interesting, but it's still got the ABV and the drinkability to make it a session beer, which is nice. Very full-bodied as well, and I quite like it. I like the label. Make the most of that. The fucking do-gooders are going to get hold of that, and you'll end up with something else. I don't know. Absolutely ridiculous. In fact, that is taking the mick out of Belgian politicians and how divisive the whole Flemish, Walloon, French-speaking, Belgian-speaking, Flemish-speaking divide is in the country. So, yeah, maybe that's what's given them the hump. Who would complain about that? For fuck's sake! Oh, it's too violent. You know, they'll watch a Netflix film where there's people getting shot to pieces and stabbed up, and won't say a fucking word. Are they complaining to Netflix? Oh, they fuck. That annoys me. Leave the beer industry alone, you fucking do-gooders. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. This is a really nice beer, but don't expect your typical Belgian flavours. This is very subtle, very, I wouldn't say German. You sort of get the indication that this is Belgian, but it's drinkable, and I like it. It's a very good alternative to blondes. If some people are finding the flavours in a blonde ale a bit too much, you know, that banana, that clove, it's not for everyone. This is a good alternative, and I could quite happily drink loads of these. Ice cold, that would be not ice cold, but cold on a summer's day. This would be really nice. Very nice. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.